Okay, so we are going to be reviewing the article Vocal Tract and Glottal Function During and After Vocal Exercising with Resonance Tube and Straw. And so basically, the purpose of this article is to investigate the vocal tract and glottal function during and after phonation into a tube and a stirring straw, like one of those black coffee straws. And the basis behind this research is that they know of several benefits that have been attributed to vocal exercises involving semi-occluded vocal tract postures. Some of the benefits are an increase in vocal tract impedance, specifically resulting in changes to the inherent reactance, and then decreasing phonation threshold pressure and increasing skewing of the glottal flow waveform. And so, okay, so basically what they did is they had a classically trained male who had 7 years of experience with tube phonation or other semi-occluded vocal tract exercises. And using a CT scanning machine, the singer was asked to perform the following procedure. So one, he sustained the vowel ah, and then two, he phonated a sustained vowel-like sound into a glass phonating tube for 15 minutes. And they're taking CT scans, 2 CT scans every one of these tasks. And so after phonating for 15 minutes in the glass tube, immediately after he sustained another ah vowel. And then after that, they had 15 minutes of vocal rest of complete silence. And after that period of silence, the singer was asked to phonate into one of the plastic coffee straws for another 15 minutes, and then produce another sustained vowel ah immediately following the phonation into the plastic tube. And so, like I said before, the subject was scanned twice during each of these phonatory tasks. And his head was fixed in a fixed position and his body in a relaxed, also fixed position during the CT scan. So there wasn't any kind of movement, and they tried to minimalize the deviation between the CT scans in order to remain consistent and to have accurate data of changes that occur due to the semi-occluded vocal tract phonation through a straw or through a tube. And so I'm going to show some of the CT scans now. Let's see. So there's the method, and then here's some of the CT imaging. So there's all these numbers all throughout here, and it says that number 1 is the vertical length of the vocal tract, so that's this descending line right here. 2 is the horizontal length of the vocal tract. 3 is the lip opening here. 4 is the jaw opening. 5, tongue dorsum length, height, 6, the oropharyngeal width. 7, the velum elevation. And 8, the hypopharynx width. And then over on this side, they mapped out these areas. A1 being the oral cavity, 2 being the pharyngeal region, and 3 being the epilaryngeal region. And so they, like I said before, they basically just took 2 CT scans. Oh, and then here is, this is underneath. This is the transversal images, like it says right here. And so this AP is the lower pharynx, and then the AE is the outlet of the epilaryngeal tube. And so they took CT scans of these views here, and then also of these transverse views here. And basically what they discovered, I'm going to try to show you. Here we go. So let's see. So this picture all the way to the left is before phonating through the tube. This middle picture is phonating. This is during phonation. And then this is after phonation. So some interesting things that they pointed out is the fact that the semi-occluded vocal tract phonation through a tube and through a straw seems to have a positive effect on the closing of the velum to the nasopharyngeal passage. And so before phonation, you can see that that is partially open. During phonation, more closed, and then after phonation through the tube, the velum is sealed off, so not producing any kind of nasal quality. And here is some information that they gathered using measurements from the CT scans that they performed. And so over here, the vertical length, that was that very first one that we saw. We can see that, oh, and by the way, all these little abbreviations means before tube, during tube, after tube, during straw, and after straw. So that's what all of those little abbreviations mean. So we can see that before phonating through the tube, the vertical length of the vocal tract was shorter. And so after phonating through the tube and through the straw, we can see that from the beginning, from before any kind of phonation, that vertical length had increased. We can see that the horizontal length, there wasn't really much effect singing with the tube or phonating with the tube. Same with the lip opening and the jaw opening. Well, so the jaw opening, they attributed that. You can see that during the tube and during the straw, there's a smaller jaw opening, but that they attributed that to the fact that they had to close the lips around the straw in order to phonate. And so, of course, the jaw position with the jaw opening would be smaller. Interestingly, though, we can see that the tongue dorsum height after phonating through the straw is also higher than before any kind of phonation through the tube or through the straw. And like I said before, looking at these images, we can see that the velum, there is a positive correlation with the sealing effect of the velum from the nasopharyngeal passage. Let's see, what were the other things? Okay, and here's phonating through the straw, and it has a similar effect to phonating through the tube. We can see that it has a positive effect on the sealing of the velum. We can see differences in the tongue dorsum position in both phonating with both the tube and with the straw. And of course you can see like the jaw positioning is different just because they're phonating through this tiny little plastic straw, and so of course that's going to be different. But here, I don't know if you can see all this, but here is a lot of information that they were able to gather. And so the type of information that they gathered was, let's see. Okay. So it says that they were able to, I can't remember where I saved this. The types of, so of course they got the CT scans. They also did an auditory perceptual test. So they were listening to the quality of the voice before phonation and then after phonation with both the tube and with the straw. And they had a panel of experts that were judging the quality and the resonance and ease of the voice. Also, they were testing the acoustic, air pressure, and EGG of phonation, both before, during, and after phonation through the tube and through the straw. And so we just looked at the CT results, which was this data here, as well as these CT images. Let's see. For the acoustic perception test, they found that there was the greatest difference was after they phonated through after the singer phonated through the straw. It says that, well, here are the results. Okay, so the vertical length was increased from before to after straw phonation. Laryngeal height increased. The velum rose and sealed the nasopharyngeal port during tube and straw phonation. The uvula rose 7 millimeters, which is 35% from before any kind of straw or tube phonation. The hypopharynx became 38% wider during straw phonation. Sound pressure level and F1 energy did not change substantially from before to after training, but the SPR, which is the singing power ratio, decreased after both tube and straw. And like I said, the panel that was judging the auditory perceptual analysis said that there was the greatest difference in sound quality, both in resonance and just in general quality of sound after straw phonation. So conclusion, they concluded that straw and tube phonation may have a major effect on increasing spectral prominence in the singer's formant cluster region by increasing a ratio of low pharynx in the area of the epilaryngeal 2 opening, as well as the lower laryngeal position. And listening tests demonstrated better voice quality after straw and tube phonation than before. And so they concluded that this can be an effective way of both lowering the larynx and providing the optimal resonance potential of the vocal tract and optimal position of the formants in the vocal tract.